As stated by Azimuth, the Omnitrix is designed to store the genetic information of all intelligent life across the Milky Way galaxy. However, even like that, we saw certain species and life forms that Ben was either unable to turn into or he couldn't know how to. Now, the reason Ben could not turn into some of those guys can be attributed to a number of reasons, most of which fan theorized. A lot of theories, for example, state that altered or highly genetically enhanced species cannot be copied by the Omnitrix, but again, this is just a theory. At the end of the day, there were some insanely powerful forms in that series that Ben was never able to turn into. Otherwise, why did Ben never turn into Vilgax race? How about an Anodite or an Osmosian? These are the top 16 strongest races not in Ben's Omnitrix, ranked from weakest to strongest. Number 16, Zombozo's minions. You see, in the original story, Zombozo had 3 minions. These were Acid Breath, Fright Wig, and Thumbskull. Acid Breath can release corrosive acid from his mouth in the form of either a vapor or a liquid. This acid can easily dissolve whatever he wants it to, even metal and stone. So even though he kinda resembled a human, I don't think he really was one. Because, well, spitting a substance that can melt metal from your mouth is definitely not something within humans' capabilities. In reality, he was probably part of an alien race. Something similar is Frightwig's case, in which her main ability is her extremely strong and prehensile hair, which she can use as tentacles to attack, lift, and grapple opponents. Her hair is also equipped with metal orbs on the tips that deliver powerful concussive blows. In addition to her hair, Frightwig is agile and highly skilled in acrobatics and gymnastics, and she can use her hair to walk around or roll into a sphere for offense. Again, not something humans can do. And then Thumbskull, who has abilities centered around enhanced strength, jumping, and durability, but lacks intelligence and is easily outsmarted. I guess he was the one closest to being a normal human, but he probably wasn't. After all, he was green. Now, this was just the first point, and yeah, I know, this group of species was definitely not the strongest, but the more we keep going, the stronger the species will analyze, and by the end of the video, we'll even have an alien species that is even stronger than Alien X. And no, I'm not kidding. You're gonna see what I mean here in a little bit. So be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's keep going. Number 15, Skurd's race. Skurd is a slime biote, and even though his own fighting potency isn't high, he has an insanely powerful ally to whoever he allied with. You see, Skurd feeds on DNA and is able to grow replicas of his host's body parts from himself. He's impossible to remove, except through ionic particle surgery, since he only leaves his host whenever he wants to. When attached to the Nemitrix or Omnitrix, Skurd could use the various alien DNA within them to grow replicas of the body parts of an alien and use it as an armor or a new power for himself and the wielder by spreading to the respective body parts and then shifting into another alien's limb or something based on another alien. This allows a sapient welder to remain sane by not using the Nemitrix directly. Furthermore, Skurd has a high tolerance for neural shifts, which prevents him from going insane as well. Skurd's body is extremely flexible and stretchable, allowing him to change shape and mold himself to whatever host he's attached to. It's not an exaggeration to say that Skurd was the real MVP towards the later stages of the Omniverse series, and yet, for a life form so important or even powerful, we never saw Ben being able to turn into one of them. Number 14, Synaptic's race. Synaptic was the second in command of the Galactic Enforcers, a group of alien heroes from the Ben 10 original series. He's an octopus-like alien with a brain in a jar for a head and is known for his abilities to fly, use telekinesis, generate energy blasts, and create force fields. He had an extremely fast processing brain, able to analyze opponents, calculate outcomes, and learn in real time. His telekinesis allowed him to move big objects or people with his mind. Given that Ben's brain aliens were only 2, Gray Matter and Brainstorm, I suppose another alien with high intelligence and a different set of fighting skills wouldn't be such a bad idea from time to time. And yet, we never actually got to see Ben turn into one of those guys. Number 13, Ultimo's race. He's the leader of the Galactic Enforcers and is considered the strongest among them. Ultimo has the ability to fly at high speeds, generate beams of heat from his eyes, generate cold air from his mouth. His breath is so powerful, it could cool hot liquid metal. He possesses enhanced strength, enabling him to lift objects much heavier than himself. His enhanced durability allows him to take several hits from Vulcanus and can also survive in space. Surprisingly though, he is allergic to chocolate. I mean, exposure to this chemical turns his skin to a brownish gray color, makes him feel extremely cold, and severely weakens him, making his body become skinny. And speaking of skinny, let's talk about Tiny next. And now, despite what his name says, he's definitely not tiny. Number 12, Tiny's race. Although from an alien species, Tiny's behavior wasn't very different from that of a human baby. Although her hulking size and massive strength resulted in her actions being more destructive, what caused others to think she was a monster on a rampage. Despite being only a baby though, easily ripping lampposts out of the ground, destroying DN aliens with ease, lifting up Kevin's car and taking a bite out of it, and being able to hold her own against Humongosaur in battle. Even a laser cannon used by the DN aliens didn't visibly wound her either. So all this strength while being a literal baby? Yeah, I'm pretty sure this race is insanely powerful when reaching full maturity and strength. Number 11, the DN aliens and the Hybrid Commanders. DN aliens are hybrid entities created by the Hybrid using xenocytes. species. DN aliens are best known for trapping their victims by coughing up balls of a sticky yellow slime-like resin from their mouths. This resin can harden relatively quickly and is almost unbreakable when solidified. They can also spit out slime while disguised as humans. DN aliens can expose tentacles from their chests. They have enhanced strength, enhanced jumping, and durability. This hybrid species apparently thrives in cold weather. Now, when it comes to the hybrids, this is a bit of a different story. Due to the hybrid believing that their DNA is the purest of all alien species, they have tried to maintain their blood purity for so long that it has led to much inbreeding. This idea of racial purity became their undoing, as the lack of genetic diversity in the hybrid gene pool weakened the species' immune system over time, making them vulnerable to infection, disease, and sterility. Eventually, though, their entire race was rendered completely sterile and without children. The hybrid would become extinct. The hybrid were dying out but didn't wish to do so alone, spurring their xenocidal rampage throughout the universe to extreme levels. They wanted to take the rest of the universe with them by attacking any species they found or encountered and bringing them to extinction like they were. They are fiercely loyal to their commander, and for them, obeying orders and dying is more important for them than to live. Thanks to their massive size, hybrid possesses monstrous amounts of strength, although its level varies from specimen to specimen. Generally, they're capable of destroying concrete as well as easily overpowering and swinging around even Humongosaur. Hybrid can rapidly shoot the tips of their claws as projectiles as well. Number 10. Darkstar's race. Michael Mike Morningstar, also known as Darkstar, is one of the recurring villains of the franchise. He gained a grudge against Ben Tennyson and his team after they accidentally caused him to turn into a zombie-like being who was to wear a helmet to hide his face. His plans usually involve gaining back his original face and feeding himself, though he seems to still be interested in feeding from Gwen's vast stories of antidote energy. Michael has the power to absorb energy, including things like force, mana, electricity, amongst others, but his powers are a vicious cycle. The more life force he drains from others, the stronger and more powerful he becomes. But the more power he gains, the greater his hunger becomes. As Morningstar or Darkstar, his strength is great enough to lift large pieces of rubble and rip open metal doors with his bare hands. Mike as Darkstar can easily withstand DN aliens' blast fire and being knocked back by a hybrid. He's also durable enough to withstand attacks from Ben's aliens, Gwen, Kevin, Magister Gallo, and being stomped on by Humongosaur all at once, which even made a crater, but it did knock him unconscious as a result. Darkstar has gained an affinity for using magic. Recite a spell from Gwen's spellbook to summon the door to anywhere, and create rock monsters powered by his life energy. All these abilities seem to stem from an alien race we were not really introduced to in the series, and an alien form that Ben never really turned into. Next is a threat that even Vilgax feared and tried to avoid. Number 9. Reedle's race. Reedles are a humanoid species that are all part of the same family, which is also the reason why they seem a bit, not the brightest, as the result of severe inbreeding in essence. When it comes to Mauve Reedle, well, she is way stronger than people realize, and yes, even Vilgax didn't want to deal with her. She is the mother of the Reedle brothers, the two goofy space hillbilly bounty hunters. But unlike her sons, Ma is not a joke at all. She is one of the most dangerous beings in the galaxy, and the Plumber records officially classify her as a level 10 threat, the highest possible danger level. Mauve Reedle is actually a genetically modified Reedle matriarch, creating full-grown Reedle soldiers instantly. One Mauve Reedle can produce an entire army in minutes. This made her species so dangerous that the Plumbers tried to wipe them out completely. So, a race that even Vilgax was afraid of. Yeah, I'd say this race is insanely powerful indeed, and yet never appeared in Ben's Omnitrix. But how about a being who can literally mind control others? Number 8. A Lucabra. The Lucabra are basically Dagon's minions. One appeared in The Creature from Beyond, while many appeared as enemies of Sir George in solitary alignment. Lucabra have the ability to feed on the thoughts of beings through interfacing with their tentacles. According to Gwen, Lucabra feed specifically on the energy from the parietal lobe and feast until there's nothing left. Even if the Lucabras feed for only a second, and even if their physical connection to their victim is severed, the Lucabra has placed its hooks in the victim. The victim can then become the Lucabra's obedient servant, and either the Lucabra or Dagon can send telepathic commands to them, wherein the person's eyes will glow turquoise. A Lucabra can even control its victims from other dimensions, as one once did to Sir Winston after being sent back to its home dimension. Lucabra can fire powerful laser beams from their faces and climb walls. They're strong enough to knock armored knights away with little effort, and are also very durable. Being able to take hits from the Forever Knight's weapons, Gwen's mana attacks, Kevin's physical attacks, Swampfire's flame attacks, and NRG's radiation attacks with no visible damage at all. The largest known Lucabra was able to survive a seemingly endless amount of swords and spears lodged in its body as well. But even stronger than that is a being that dominated an entire dimension. Number 7. Adwaitia's race. You see, this guy was the literal monarch of an entire dimension, and not just any dimension. A dimension made of pure magic that is filled with insanely powerful magic beings as well. Adwaitia is a Geoshalon Arios, who mastered magic thousands of years ago. He's an evil mystic being, considered to be the most powerful sorcerer in the universe. Adwaitia is incredibly strong when he has the Alpha Rune, with Charmcaster claiming him to be the most powerful sorcerer in the universe. capable of casting spells without saying them. He easily defeated Gwen, Charmcaster, and Kevin. He was even capable of fighting Ultimate Humongousaur without being defeated, even without the Alpha Rune and most of his own power being drained by Charmcaster. Adwaita was still capable of performing spells of considerable power. However, he was no match against Charmmaster when she held the Alpha Rune and easily defeated him. But speaking of monarchs, let's talk about Chimera sui generis. Number 6. Vilgax's race. Vilgax is an intergalactic alien warlord and conqueror, a Chimera sui generis who serves as Ben's archenemy and the main antagonist of the franchise, having appeared multiple times in every series. Ben considers him as one of the most dangerous villains he has faced. Vilgax is a skilled hand-to-hand combatant, being able to greatly hold his own even before being cybernetically enhanced and augmented. Before his augmentation, Vilgax was still very strong. After his augmentation, Vilgax has been able to effortlessly break through walls and generate small earthquakes. He possesses an immense level of durability, being able to survive a nuclear explosion at point-blank range, though it was made clear he was seriously injured and widely believed to be dead at that time. Vilgax was also able to withstand Chroma Stone's energy beams, recover within seconds from the Omnitrix's explosion, and even endure a brutal assault from Diamond Head, Atomic X, Electric Yeti, and Gwen 10's Cannon Bolt. Enhanced reflexes and immunity to fire are in his arsenal as well, as we saw him completely withstand Swamp Fire and Ultimate Swamp Fire's Fire Blasts, as well as surviving a massive wave of fire from Heat Blast with no visible damage. In Alien Force, Vilgax defeated heroes from 10 worlds and absorbed their powers, although these powers were lost and possibly returned to their original sources when Ben defeated him in his ultimate form. Vilgax could project red laser beams from his eyes, capable of homing in on their target. These lasers are incredibly fast, as they were able to catch up with Helen. Vilgax had breath as powerful as cyclone-like winds, the ability to place yellow energy around his hands to increase the impact of his blows. He could hear sounds from several miles away, could fly at high speeds, and even levitate. Overall, it's not random this guy was considered to be amongst the most dangerous villains in all of the galaxy, and at the time, one of the fan favorites as well. Number 5. Nanochip's race. Nanochip, also known as microchips or nanites, also known collectively as the Hive, are alien microscopic nanites that first made an appearance as major antagonists in Ben 10 Alien Swarm. The Queen produces nanochips from her body, and later after she takes up residency in Victor Validus's body. She produces them from there, and they have the ability to take over a person's mind. They're a hybrid which is part organic matter and part machine, as pointed out by Kevin. In several days, they mind-controlled whole Bellwood citizens. The nanochips surprisingly returned in the Ben 10 Ultimate Alien episode Revenge of the Swarm. The team discovered that the chips took over Elena Validus's mind and had made her the Queen of the Hive. After Elena sacrificed herself for Ben by destroying her nano-self, the chips still had some life in them. In that episode, Elena was easily able to overpower Ben, and the only reason she didn't kill him was because she had feelings for him. And what can be more powerful than that? Number 4. Dagon's race. Dagon was an extra-dimensional demonic entity who tried to invade the main dimension with the help of his Lucabra army during Earth's medieval era. He was banished back to his dimension after Sir George defeated him by cutting out his heart with Ascalon, a powerful weapon given to him by Azimuth nearly 1,000 years ago. He neither aged nor could be killed by conventional means. His heart alone was said to have the power to rule the universe, and he claimed that his substance is power. From a physical standpoint, Dagon was essentially invulnerable to conventional forms of attacks, as any injuries inflicted upon him would instantly disappear, including several limbs being replaced within seconds. Dagon was capable of manipulating his own shape and size, having morphed into a winged dragon in the past during his first encounter with Sir George. If he wished so, he could have also shifted into a more humanoid form. Aside from changing himself, Dagon could also convert others into esoterica, and doing so to billions of humans on the planet instantly while still entrapped within the seal, as well as merge two beings into one, fusing Vilgax with Lucabra to create Ultimate Vilgax. Dagon was extremely strong, as he was able to lift Ultimate way big with his tentacles even after shifting into a relatively smaller form. He was also extremely durable, taking multiple hits from Ascalon, Ultimate way big, and Chroma Stone's attacks without any significant damage. Like the Lucabra, Dagon could control minds, but to a much greater degree. He could also transform other beings into esoterica, as he was able to convert nearly every human on Earth into esoterica in a matter of seconds while still being partially trapped by the seal. He possessed great knowledge of magic and had the ability to revive the dead, such as when he brought Spellbinder back to life. Dagon could fire powerful laser beams from his eyes and control the weather, being able to summon rain, specifically a red acid rain and red lightning. Overall, he was among Ben's most powerful enemies, if not the most powerful. And what can top that? Number 3. An Anodite. Anodites are a free-spirited race of humanoid energy beings from the planet Anodyne, and let me tell you, they are insanely powerful when reaching full strength. Anodites are amongst the most overwhelmingly powerful species in the Ben 10 universe, because they don't just use magic, they control mana itself, the cosmic energy that magic is made of, and this gives them a level of versatility and raw power that borders on reality warping. In their true form or in locations rich in mana like Legerdemain, their abilities increase dramatically, letting them unleash beams, waves, explosions, and heat vision like blasts beasts that can phase through the ground, slice restraints, carve through terrain, or knock back massive aliens like Tetramans. Their control of mana is so precise they can reshape attacks mid-fight, turn discs into boomerangs, or split a projectile to destroy a wall outline without harming a target. With mana constructs, they can create weapons, shields, cages, platforms, chains, bolts of electricity, and even airtight prisons capable of suffocation or fire suppression. With the complexity and durability limited only by their experience, they can also override the constructs of weaker Anodites outright. Their powers extend far beyond combat. They can fly faster than an aerophibian, turn invisible, grow in size, astral project, create bodies to inhabit, communicate through the universal mana field, sense, track, and read mana signatures across planets or dimensions, distinguish aura, detect hidden mind, perceive distant events, and even heal those drained of energy. Their telepathic abilities also allow them to send or receive thoughts over vast distances, scan memories, erase memories, and project three-dimensional images. They can teleport, create portals and dimensional vortexes, disrupt advanced technology, read and understand how objects function, or even warp reality on command. Verdona casually repaired a house, fixed broken objects, created and removed matter, and shifted Ben and Kevin back to human form with effortless precision. Physically, they're strong enough to throw Tetramans, durable enough to withstand heavy impacts and attacks, and capable of surviving in space. Altogether, Anodites combine cosmic-level energy manipulation, telepathy, magic, reality warping, and immortality into a single species, making them one of the most versatile and dangerously powerful life forms in the entire franchise. Number 2, Osmosians. Okay, now hear me out. At base form, they are definitely not the strongest. However, the reason I placed them this high in this list is their potential for destructive power. By absorbing energy, they can increasingly get stronger and stronger all the time, as seen by the case of Egregor and Kevin. Egregor was also close to multi-galactic dominance by almost absorbing the power of a baby celestial sapien, a being capable of rewriting entire galaxies with the flick of their fingers. And if you thought Alien X was strong, well, think again. Number 1, Cosmic's Mom Race. Cosmic Mom can move being just the 3 dimensions and has access to higher dimensions other beings can't even perceive. It even casually stated that, quote, only 26 really matter. The fact that it has access to this many dimensions and can also manipulate them at will suggests a level of power that even exceeds that of celestial sapien. But that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe and click on this video next for more great content. Go on, check it out.